to 70% more likely to get punched or attacked physically or be victims of violent crime than women are. But anyway, and she was wrong on that one too. You're wrong on everything, Ty, bro. Alright, we'll go to Russia. What about you?
I think it was very entertaining.
Fair show.
Way better than her pageant statement, Myra.
That's true. Well, she learned pretty well. You put her good at word salad. Rick, where can I find you, bro?
Rick Worksheet _Jr. on Instagram. The 8th by White Boy Rick on Instagram.
Oh. Go check them out, guys. We'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 for the debrief, as you guys know. Gonna be in DC this Saturday. Love you guys. We're gonna cover tomorrow probably Trump and some anti-Semitism law. They passed. If you fucking don't pledge allegiance to Israel, you don't get aid from the flood. Fucking retarded. So we're gonna talk about that, and then also Israel is going to take Gaza. It's official. I'll cover all that tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace. Peace. Or do the work to get the guy. It's like, I want what I want. That's it. Is that kind of crazy to you?
I feel like it has to do how you're.
Welcome to another episode of the Backcourt Connection. I'm your host, Marcus T. Got my brother D-Lam. Archie might be on in a second. I think he's working out, but what's going on, D-Lam?
I'm good, bro, man. We got a lot to talk about. My guy in the building, man. He gotta get some shit off his chest, man. So
Got OG legend in the building, man. We gotta get some words across to some people, man. So we're gonna let him take it over here in a second, man. What's going on, T.O.?
ain't nothing, man. You know, just left the track. You know what I mean? Get my work in. That's all.
Yeah, it look like you getting that work in. You gotta stay ready. OG, stay ready.
Yeah, man. We got the OBL Final Four next week. So
That's what's up. Yeah, man, but there's a lot going on, man. You know, everybody on Instagram, we see all the back and forth going on, man. What's going on?
Yeah, man. You know, so like I talked to some people, you know, behind the scenes or whatever. I ain't really like, you know, go public with the situation just because of I knew how it was gonna like, you know, I knew how the narrative was gonna be painted, like once they hit the public, you know what I'm saying? You know, those guys got a big following over there, you know what I mean? So, you know, they put the narrative out like I'm lying, you know what I'm saying? Like I guess like I made the whole shit up or whatever, so you know what I mean? But first I'm gonna say, like, you know, to anybody, I ain't trying to make nobody believe me, you know, because I know what's going on, so I don't give a fuck who believe me or not. But you know, 1,000 and 20,000 is like
It's a big ass difference.
you know what I mean? I can see if I said 20 and they said 12. You know what I mean? I said 20, they said 16, but you know, 20 and 1 that I still haven't got. You know what I mean?
You ain't get your band yet?
Yeah, you know what I mean? The event was April 25th. You know what I'm saying? It's June 26th. You know what I mean? I got ignored for basically 2 months. Almost 2 months.
Oh, so it was like, you couldn't get a hold
Yeah, I only got reached out to when like, I wasn't on the live, right? When the news broke or whatever, so I don't know who actually said it, whether it was Dave or Jazz, like Tuesday, I don't know which one of them said it, but whenever it hit the net, whenever it was said on the live, that's when I got all these, you know, DMs from these guys and phone calls and shit, and I'm like, you know. Yeah, but I mean, you know, so
See, Pep had problems, but at least he was getting back with people and talking to them and trying to figure it out. You can't ignore somebody.
yeah, I mean, and he never like, you know, like I talked to Pep a couple times, like, you know, behind the scenes about the situation, you know what I mean? And I told him before, you know what I mean, yo, be careful, make sure, you know what I mean, you got everything in line. Cause I know how it be though when you want to just jump out there because you want to have like the biggest event or like the biggest car. I get it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he ran into some problems, but like when I talked to him, whatever, and some of the people I talked to, not that I was asking them, but they, you know, was like balancing information to me. He was chopping that shit off, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean, big ups to Pat, you know what I mean? He owned whatever mistake he made or whatever, and he tried, you know, is still trying to make it right. So, shout out to Pat.
So Terry, what was the agreement we had with next chapter before the event? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
and everything.
yeah, so because I already booked me and Bug, right? And I had booked Cal to play Dom, to play left hand Dom, you feel me?
Yeah.
So you know, Scotty and I wasn't involved when I did that, right? Then the next thing I got was Day and Baldy versus Nico and Greg. They still wasn't involved for that either, right? I was supposed to have Pat play somebody. It was just like they wasn't involved in like helping me or collabing in any type of way. They wasn't involved. We was at the games first before he got involved in all of that, right? Yeah. So I had me and Bud, I had Cal and Dom, I had the Dede and Baldy 2-on-2 with Greg and Nico, right? Yeah. So I think, like I said, I think the attention and all the shares and likes and views that the flyer from Dom and Kel must have got their attention some type of way or whatever. So he hit me. He already talked to me about doing this before, right? But before it was supposed to be me and Jazz doing an event like Free Smoke versus Juniors League, and they was going to power it with the scream and everything. So that ended up not falling through. So then he hit me up about this. So my thing was, I want to know what I can make off of, doing it, because I don't really need you to do a successful event. I've been doing it since, for like 5-6 years now. So no disrespect, but I didn't need him for it technically, right? So he was like, man, our goal was to try to make you the most money you ever made. We just did something with Lance. He made a ton of money and X, Y, and Z. So I'm also like, my following is not like Lance, first of all, so you can't go off of that. You know what I mean? So I said, look, I'm trying to, if I can't make at least 20, I'd rather do it like another time. Right. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, now I'm not really no greedy, money hungry type of nigga when it comes to doing events or whatever. I like just having a great event and everybody get what they're supposed to get. That'd be my first goal, always been my first goal. But if you coming in, right, doing what y'all want to do, you know what I'm saying, and then I'm like, all right, so now, you get what I'm saying, because I feel like they was using me for certain shit anyway, right? Like, you grabbed me over there and did the game, they had the game versus but to do the interview, and I feel like y'all only really did that because I was going back and forth with Dev, and it was this whole this me versus Dev and the lab thing. So it been a perfect time for y'all to come try and shine light on me as the one-on-one space creator, whatever how they want to put it, and just being the person to shine the light on me because I'm going back and forth with Dev, and they all at odds with each other, right? So I peeped it, but I'm like, okay, it ain't like I'm gonna get on here and say something that I didn't say to Dave on the phone or that I didn't say public, you know what I mean? And I ain't no problem with Scotty. I fuck with Scotty, right? So I played the game, right? I lost the game, but I showed out, especially from my age, as they say it, right? And then the interview, did wonders for me, gave me some flowers, shined some light on me that a lot of fans didn't know about and all of that shit, you know what I mean? So it was a helpful situation. It helped y'all too, but then it helped me also as well. For sure. So now you coming over here, you trying to control the streaming aspect of it or whatever. Now I know if y'all streaming versus me streaming, it's gonna get more views and more eyes from y'all, of course. Okay. Alright, but you say you want me to make this most money I ever made. I said, okay. But I done made 10s, I done made 15s, so can I make 20 at least? Yeah. And of course, in business, it ain't no guarantee, you know what I'm saying? But I trust your judgment. If you feel like I would make at least 20 off of this, I trust your judgment and I'm willing to take the gamble. Right? Now, when he first, now this is where you gotta pay attention. So when he first reached out about doing this, it was, if you're gonna handle the gym and you're gonna handle, the security, all of that stuff that I had to pay for, then we'll get the equipment, do the streaming, and we can split everything 50-50. So I said, well, look, how much is all your expenses gonna be? He said, our expenses gonna come down to like 50,000, right? So I said, if you're putting up 50,000, and I'm only putting up 15,000, why would you be willing to split 50-50 with me? Right. I mean, I'll take it, but I want to know, because I see this bullshit. So I was like, wow. He was like, well, when you put it like that, yeah. He's like, like I said, my goal was to try to make you as much money you ever made. So I said, okay. I said, well, he was like, but I mean, when you break it down like that, it does make sense. It might not feel right in the long run. Yeah, you getting 50%, but you only put in probably 20%. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I was like, yeah. I said, I'm all about being fair. I want to make what I want to make, but I don't want no handout, and I don't want you coming over here just paying for everything, controlling everything, because that's not what it is. I said, this is still my event. Y'all just powered it as far as like with the stream and the promotion and things like that they did. So our agreement was 80% and 20% based on what I paid for, right? And I agreed.
Yeah.
Right? I agreed. I said, okay. I said, but the tickets on Eventbrite, the money at the door, the concession money, all that's mine.
Yeah.
Right? So we agreed. I paid for the gym. I paid for the security. I paid my ref. Right? I had to pay all of my players on my side. Right? But I had to pay John Wick and Rajon. And I have to pay Kel and Bug. Everybody else, he pays. Right? You know, the Enu, the Moon, the Cam, the Day-Day, all of them, you gotta pay all that. Right? Alright. So now look. His expenses is 51,000, right? He told me 53, then it came out, it ended up being supposed to be 51. Okay. Alright. So once they get their 51,000 back, everything after that is profit, and that's what we split 80-20, right? And I agree. Okay? So I'm fully aware that this shit might only can make 60,000 in total, which would only be 9,000 in profit. Right? Fully aware of that. Right? Okay. So I'm on his ass. As soon as he released the subscribers, only pay 10,000 if you're not 20. As soon as it's able to buy, I'm on his ass. Every morning, every 4 or 5 hours. Yo, what is it looking like? You know what I mean? Yo, where we at? Right? I'm on his ass. Like, I got hella people that can vouch for this. I'm on his ass.
Let me ask you a question real quick. You ain't put nothing into play where like you could see the numbers, like where they had to show you the song.
So the agreement was once it's all done, I have to see the numbers for the expenses, and I have to see the pay-per-view sales numbers. Right? I'm like, yo, I trust you, but it's business. I still want to see it. Right? So that was our agreement. So make sure you keep that in mind too as we go along. Okay. So, you know, he like, we did a ton of sales last night as soon as I released the $10 thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but we ain't nowhere near the 50 yet. He was like, nah, he's like, we might be there within like a day or two. Right? Okay. The day of the event. Right? The day of the event. The event starts at I think 2 or 3 o'clock, right? So they was in the gym at like 9 a.m. because you know they got to do the pre-setup and all that shit, right? At about noon, he was like, I think before the event start, you know, we want to be at our money back.
Right.
So I said, shit, that's good. So we got the whole day,
Just to make bread.
right? The face offs and shit, clips are still dropping and all that, right? So I'm like, okay, even if I don't get to 20, you know what I mean, I probably can get somewhere close to it after I make what I make. Because I made a nice amount. I had to pay out a lot of shit, but I did okay, right? So, first game is a 3-on-3, right? After the 3-on-3, I'm behind the curtain. Yo, we looking like, right? Listen, after the first game, he like, yeah, we already back. He like, now we on our way to the green because everything now about to be profit. I said, so you made the money back? He like, yeah. So, how much that means he made back, at least?
How much you put in? 50, you said?
51.
So yeah, he made the 50.
So they made 51,000 back so far, right? This is after the 3-on-3 game. Now we get into the first one-on-one game, John Wick and Rajon. Like halftime of that game, I was like, yo, it's going up. I just gave him a look like, it's going up. He was like, you know, he just gave me a little head, okay, cool.
Right? Like, fuck everything, that bread good, right?
Listen, this ain't no excuse for me losing my game versus Bug. I was locked in, but I was more locked in about that thing.
Oh, God.
Right? So, I didn't go behind the curtain in the John Wick game. I just gave him a little head nod, like trying to little body language, and he like, you know, said like, you know, he basically said, give it time. All right, cool. Watching the game, you know what I mean? I'm helping my boy, I forgot my boy name, big security, my man Ben, I think. Is it Ben? Whatever. I can't remember his name right now. Dallas, I'm sorry. You know, helping him out with some security things, get some niggas off the floor, you know, shit like that. You know, just regular event shit, right? Now, the next game is Day-Day and Nico. Now, after that game, I'm behind the curtain. Yo, what we doing? He said, we're doing pretty good. He said, because they were really excited to see
That's not
the
good.
Nico game because of how Nico came off in the face-off, right? I said, okay. So, but I'm like, where we at though? He like, we're around like 60, right? I said, okay. I said, the way this going, when we all the way at the end, we probably only make 100 total. So we just gonna be splitting 80-20 out of like 50,000 probably.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, cool. The next game is, if I'm not mistaken, it was Moon and Evening, I think. Let me see, 303, John Wick, 88. Alright, so Moon game, right? After the Moon game, same thing. Yo, we going up. I said, yo, listen. He said, look, what number are you actually looking for? Which threw me off a little bit, right? Because nigga, you already know I'm trying to make 20. Right? We already talked about me trying to make 20. But to your defense, it's been a lot going on the last couple of days, like with, okay, but I ain't forget what the fuck I'm trying to make. Listen, I said, bro, I really need y'all to clear like 150 all together. You know what I'm saying? Take your 51 out and that's 100,000. Now that's a flat 20 for me. Right? I do know that the cycle protection, the shit that they got to protect people from streaming and then like showing it, and then the pay-per-view company, the streaming company got to take their money out. So if I did make a flat 20, it might take me down to like 17, 18. I was already aware of that because we talked about that, right? But that's what I'm trying to get y'all around the 150 area. He's like, I think as time go on, we're gonna get it. He was like, and plus you gotta remember, it's still gonna be available to buy until May 9th.
Right.
And the event is April 25th.
Right.
Remember? I said, okay, cool. So I'm calming down a little bit, right? But I'm still on his ass though. After the Moon, now when the Moon game is over, right? Because that was before the Moon game started. When the Moon game is over, right back behind the curtain. So look, man, he like, I ain't gonna lie, man, we just had a big jump. Like we doing pretty well. Smile and all the goofy ass shit. Okay, cool. Cam and Perk play. Cam and Perk is over. Now it's not really an intermission, but we know these last two games is about to get real crazy here because it's Greg and Cal and then it's me and Boog. So we know the space is about to be limited. Like, we trying to like whatever. But me, right back behind the curtain.
For sure.
Yo, what's up? He said, now this is the last thing they've been waiting for. He said, we doing good. And we ain't talking about what the number was at. He said, we doing good. Remember the last time I talked, they was at like 70. And he said, after the Moon shit was going up, whatever. But I ain't gonna put no number on it because he didn't say nothing at that moment. Greg and Kel plays, right? When Greg and Kel was over, I'm like, I just asked him, like out there on the floor, yo, what's up? He was like, man, we going crazy right now. He said, we doing pretty good. He was like, it's not like the best we ever did. He said, but we doing pretty good. I think you're gonna get your number, right? I said, okay, but he didn't say no number yet, so I'm not putting that on. So I just got a little bit more confident that I'm gonna be close. So I locked back in a little bit more. I played the game, right? I really felt like a couple little mispossessions or whatever, so I was right there. I was up 27-25. I was right there. I lost the game, right? 30-27. Now, anybody that know me, after the free smoke event, I go to my cousin, I get all the concession money. I go to my sister Dion at the door, I get all the door money. I check my Apple Pay, check my Cash App, check my Zelle, if anything came in, I add everything together, I sit in the back room, call niggas in one by one, all the niggas I'm paying in cash or Cash App, whatever, call them all in there, boom, boom, right? Me and my consistent Katrina is in there. I say, yo, Scotty, come here real quick, he come in the back room. It was me, him, Katrina. I don't know what player was back. I think it might have been Greg. Because I think even Greg and Ted, I think they're the only players or Perk that I would have talked about this in front of him. But I know it wasn't Perk. It was either Greg or Ted. But I think it was Greg. But anyway, I said, yo, what are we looking like? Like, do you feel like I got my number? You think I got the 20? He like, bro, we had a crazy jump. I think you got like over 20. Not like a lot, not a whole bunch over 20, but I think you right there at 20. So I'm like, so that means y'all basically hit the number then. He was like, yeah, we're like right there. He was like, and we got all the way up until May 9th until buy. He was like, but I think you're good with your 20. I said, okay. So this is what I need you to do for me if you can. After I paid everything out, I was like, look, can you give Boog his remaining balance, which was 1,000? I ain't putting out what he got paid total, but his remaining balance was 1,000. Right? wanted 1,000 that day. He was waiting for the pay-per-view money to come out and get the rest. So I said, can you give Boog 1,000? Can you give Kel 1,000? And can you pay Ray John? Right? And then you just take that out of my payment. Right? I was like, if you can. I said, if you can. He was like, yeah, I got you. He went out there, he paid all 3 of them. Right? I confirmed with all 3 of them, they paid him. All right, cool. So, we good. Right? Pay my security, pay my referee, pay my DJ, pay my cousins, pay my sister at the door, pay Katrina, my assistant, whatever. Right? Already paid for the gym, everything is good. Right? Now it's time to go out. You know what I mean? It's time to go out. You know what I mean? Now, I was mad at my loss, but I was a little happy about my win though. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, cool. I don't do more victories though, but I'm like, you know what? This time I can be more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Because I lost the game, but I still won. It's a great event. The city loved the event. You know what I mean? Got a little, you know what I mean? Little chaotic for like a minute or 2, but it got controlled. You know, it's regular shit. Everybody got home safe. Everything was good, right? Boom. Cam came out, John Wickham came out, we party, you know what I mean? Whatever. Alright, boom. Okay. So now afterwards, first thing in the morning, I go right on the website, I'm looking, the shit say it's available to buy until like May 19th or something. So I say, hold up, because that means that pushed the money further back to come out.
Yeah.
I called, I thought you said the shit only gonna be available till May 9th, and then 2-3 weeks after that we get paid. He was like, yeah, they must have gave me the 3-week something saying, but I'm gonna go change it. The next day I checked, it was back to May 9th, and it was in May 9th the whole time. Alright? I said, yo, so when did we get paid? We get paid May 21st. That's what he said. Right? May 21st. Okay. I ain't gonna blow your phone up there. May 21st. Cool. Y'all do good business. Right? May 21st. Alright, cool. I say, yo, remember, I trust you, but I still gotta see the expenses.
Yeah.
I still gotta see the pay-per-view numbers. Right? Cool. He like, yeah, you know, no problem, T, blah, blah, blah. Alright. Go out separate ways for a little while, right? We've been talking damn near 9 times a day for the past 3 weeks anyway, so it's time for me to be off you for a minute anyway. Pause. So, now, May 21st comes. Bro, what's up? What's the word? No response. I called twice. No answer. Alright, whatever. You know what I mean? They busy guys. I think they be doing some, you know what I mean? Whatever. Cool. He'll get back to me. 2 days go by. May 23rd, he texts back. Yo, I was at a wedding, bro. Doing a whole bunch of shit for my friend wedding. I'm back home now. I'm exhausted, blah, blah, blah. And there was some other questions I asked him before May 21st. I asked him about when is the summer event. And I was like, when do y'all have something going on in Texas on the June 13th? Because I was going to throw an event and I had some of the guys or whatever. So then he come back on the 24th and he respond to all of that shit. But he never responded to my, bro, what's the word, right? So I said, all right, that's what's up. I said, yo, but what's the word though? I thought we supposed to got paid on the 21st.
Right.
Oh shit, bro, if I said the 21st, I must have been speaking too fast. We get paid the first business day after the 26th. After the 25th. I said, okay. I said, yeah, you definitely said May 21st. Because one thing about a nigga, if you waiting on 20 bands, you ain't forgetting no motherfucking date. I don't give a fuck if it's 5 years from now. I ain't forgetting no motherfucking date. But anyway, okay. Alright, the first business day after the 25th, alright, cool, bro. You got it. I said, is that gonna affect anything? Because the 25th of May is Memorial Day. That's a holiday. He was like, nah. He said, I think he's supposed to send the numbers over to me on that Sunday, and then we get paid on Tuesday. He's like, but I'll confirm with you around like Friday or Saturday. I said, okay, cool. I ain't say shit else to him. May, I said 26th, so the day before Memorial Day, like Sunday, he like, bro, he's sending me over the invoices and all the numbers now. He confirmed that we get paid on Tuesday, which is the 26th. Okay. 24th roll by, 25th roll by, Memorial Day. The 26th come here, right? I'm up 7:15 every day. Said I'm gonna wait until about 9-ish, 10 o'clock. Yo, bro, what's the word?
Oh, God.
Right? What's the word? Right? spoke to him was that Sunday, so like the 24th.
Yeah.
When he said, yo, he confirmed, send me the numbers and we get paid on Tuesday. When Tuesday came to 26, I sent him that text. I gave him 2 phone calls, that's my thing. 2 phone calls, 1 text.
That shit good too.
You know the next time I heard from him?
When?
Whenever the day that they said what they said on live about him, want me the month.
Wow. So that's when he responded, and he did it on the
Right?
internet.
Now mind you, you remember me and Zeke played against Kel and Isote, right?
Yeah.
That night, because you know Kel still waiting on,
Yeah.
he waiting on the rest of his bread.
Facts.
He put us in the group chat. Yo, me and him and Scotty, yo, what's going on, bro? Both of y'all saying 2 different things. I replied and said, yo, respectfully, don't put me in no group chat with Slim. I ain't got no fucking rap. He know what the fuck going on. As far as me and you, I'll take care of you on my own. But I ain't got shit else to say about this.
Yeah.
Right? If you wasn't on bullshit, why you ain't call me that day?
Facts.
Right? Now, here comes the bullshit. The payment. May 21st, May 26th. We all the way in June. But anyway, that same day when I responded to that group chat, he hit Cal. He called Cal. I don't know why Terry tripping like that. He's only owed a couple hundred. That's what he told Cal.
Couple
Right?
hundred.
That's what he told Cal. Right? Okay.
Play money.
So I tell Cal, bro, you think I'm telling you, if he showed up at your event that Friday, your event was gonna be fucked up over a couple $100, my nigga?
Right.
I said, that's 1. I said, for 2, then why haven't I talked to him for almost 2 months? All he owed me is a couple hundred.
Right.
That's 2. I said, then he called you. Why the fuck he ain't respond or why he ain't say nothing to me? Right? He tell Kel, and I got the screenshot to prove it, the event only made $66,000 in total. Right? Now let's go back. What was the expenses?
I can't remember.
51. So if you made 66, how much is that in profit? 15.
Yeah, that's a 15.
That's 15,000 profit. But on the post that you put out to try to paint the narrative, the event only made 4,000 to 5,000 in profit.